A minus and A, there's a difference, but not as much as A minus to B plus, right? Or B minus to C plus, right? And I had a particular class that I really struggled with, Latin. I went to a private school, so everyone was required. Every single student needed to study Latin, 7th and 8th grade. In 7th grade, I was a pretty solid C plus Latin student. But I really wanted to get it to B minus. I really wanted to. And I remember so many times I'd take exams, I'd take tests, and every single point mattered. Or every single fraction of a point mattered. And I remember getting to one quarter or one marking period or whatever, and my average in that class was something like 79 point something. I forget what it was. 79.3 or 5 or 7, I don't know what it was. 79 point something. It was more than 79%, but less than 80%. And I remember thinking to myself, like, is he gonna round? Like, is he gonna round up? Or is he gonna round down, right? He's gonna, is 70, to me, I feel like 79.1 is, I would probably round that down, right? But 79.5, round up, right? But there's like 79.49. That's pretty much 79.5, right? Which is pretty much, So in my mind, I'm going through all these things, and actually, in my school, there was, the private school, so you actually meet with your teacher regularly, one-on-one, and you talk to, he gave me the lowdown on the score and the grades, stuff like that, and he was planning to give me a C plus. And I remember thinking in my mind, but if only, can you just, I'm so close, I did 79 point whatever percent of work, and can you just give me that little, I don't know how much I needed, like a 0.2 or 0.3, whatever, can you just give me that, because it makes a huge difference to come home with a report card, a B minus versus a C plus, right? B minus is, I'm still not happy, but at least B minus is way better than C plus. Now, imagine that I wasn't just, 0.2 away, or 0.5 away, whatever. Right? And I could, imagine I was a lot away. Imagine I was maybe 10 points away. Yeah, 69.5. Can you cut me some slack, 10 more points, just 10 more points, and I would get a B minus, right? Or 20 points, 59.7, F plus, right? Just give me 20 more points, and I'd be C plus, and then round it to B minus, right? But imagine if not just 10 points or 20 points, not just 0 points. Imagine I didn't do any work. I didn't do anything at all. Didn't take any exams, didn't do any homework, didn't memorize any vocabulary, didn't decline or conjugate or anything. And I came to him and I said, sorry, forgive me, but can you just give me a B minus? I think there's a sense in which some of this makes sense. When we're talking about 0.1, we're talking about 0.3. Right? It seems like that makes a lot of sense. Maybe it was a 79.999997 or something like that, and that makes sense to us. That makes sense that just round a little bit more. But then when we talk about 10 points away, it's like, well, oh, come on, you gotta be serious. 20 points? 20? What is this?
80 points.
80 points away? You did a 0?
No, that's negative. Oh, 90.
But that's exactly what the psalmist says in Psalm 25. I'm going to read it to you, just one verse today, because we have limited time today. I'm just going to read you one verse in Psalm 25. Psalm 25, verse 11 says this: For your name's sake, O Lord, pardon my guilt, for it is great. For your name's sake, O Lord, pardon my guilt, for it is great. See, the psalmist recognizes his guilt, his shortcoming, his not meeting the mark. It's not a fraction. It's not even just 5%, 10%. He recognizes it is great. And it is so great that he uses this word for it is great. You know, another way you could think of it is say, if he were to use the word because. Pardon my sin because it is great. You see, for me, going into this exam, or going into this marking period or whatever, right, I was close. And I could say, 79.2, 79.5, whatever, right? Professor Sawyer, or isn't it Sawyer? I forget. See, Gallagher, I forget. Whatever it was, cut me some slack here. Forgive my shortcoming, because it's not that great. It's 2%, it's 0.2%, it's 0.5%, or whatever it was. It's so small. But if that wasn't the case, if it was greater, I might say, Professor, cut me some slack. Even though it's great. Even though I'm 10 points away. Even though I'm 20 points away. Cut me some slack. But see, if I went to him, and you heard me, and you didn't know what my score was, and you heard me say something like this, Professor, cut me some slack. Because my shortcoming is great. Not although, but because it is great. Then you have a feeling, I didn't just mess up a little bit.
A lot.
If you have to say, because my shortcoming is great, forgive me, cut me some slack. That gives you an idea. That impression is pretty significant. It's not just a small amount. It's a big amount. It's such a big amount that you can't do anything about it. You're not able to cover that last bit. That's why you would say, because it's great. Forgive me, because my sin is great, my guilt is great, my shortcoming is great. Because it's great, the only way that I can pass, the only way that I can get the right score, the only way that I can make it is just by your forgiveness. Just because of your grace, just because of what you can do. I cannot do it on my own. See, and that's the beauty of just this one word here of Psalm 25, where David says here that for your name's sake, O Lord, pardon my guilt, because it is great, for it is great. Because David recognizes that there's nothing he can do. He can't do any of it. He's just a fraction away, but he's just not there at all. The only way he can is by God's grace. Now, you might say, okay, well, I understand that, right? I think that's easy to understand. If we come to God by His grace, we come to God because what He does. But I want to challenge you in this. If you really believe that, if you were to really believe that, how would you live your life? I think, for example, a lot of religious people, or a lot of religions, we have this idea that, you need to do certain things. You gotta be a certain person, you gotta do certain things, be right about certain things, you have to, act a certain way, not say certain things, not do certain things, right? And I think that's true for a lot of religions, even for Christianity, there's an expectation. Well, what if that behavior, or what you do or don't do something, wasn't because you are doing something good to make a mark, but you make that mark and you pass, even though you don't. Because it was something that someone else had done instead of you. Now, how would that change what you do? I play this game that I think many of you are familiar with, called Clash Royale. Okay? And for those of you who don't know, there's a game, and you play this game, you battle against other people, right? And then when you battle against other people, you earn things for playing, right? So if you win, you can get a chest, right? A chest has things in it, right? And then also, even if your allotment of chests is full, you can still get gold, you can get coins, right? You know, there's prizes, right? But I came across something, probably for many of you players, this is something that you know. But I came across this, you click on, this play or battle, whatever, and you get this screen here, okay? And the screen here, it's hard for you to see, but, let me tell you what it says. It says, reward limit reached, okay? It says, you cannot receive chests from battle. Play anyway. Okay? So what this means is that, you usually when you play, you can get chests, you can get coins, or, you get whatever, But you have a limit for how much you can get in I think it's like 24 hours or whatever, right? And you've played so much that you cannot get any more. They're not willing to give you, not giving into your addiction. I don't know why. But then for whatever reason, you can't get any more. And this is actually no question. This is only a yes button, right? And I looked at the screen and I was like, I can't get any more chests. My chest is full. I can't get any more coins. I can't get a prize. I will get, if I win or lose, but more importantly, if I win, I get nothing. And then I click yes. Now, why did I click yes? Because I just wanted to play. There was no prize for playing. There was no ranking up for playing. There was no chest. There was no coin. There was no reward. But simply the fun of playing. Either win or lose. If you really understand that your relationship with God and how you live your Christian life is not based on what you've done or what you're going to do or how you're going to behave, and when you do the right thing, or when you live as a Christian, or when you make the hard choice, or when you are doing what you are simply doing it because you love to do it. There's no reward for it. It's not that you get some, you do the right thing, the moral thing. It's not that you get some feeling that I did the right thing, and not everyone can do that. When you persevere in something difficult, it's like, well, I persevered, and so that means that God is with me or something, or that I'm stronger than other people, or anything that you do, anything you say, anything that you stay away from, the reward is simply because you love to do it. That's what it means to really recognize that it's not by what you do, it's not by the good behavior you have, or the right things you say, or how. That's what it means. Your reward is simply just because you love to do it. And so then you might say to me, but Pastor Tim, I don't want to do it. It's difficult for me to do it. It's difficult for me to persevere. It's difficult for me to stand up for my faith. It's difficult to do the right thing when everyone else is. It's difficult to stand up for justice or integrity, or to speak up when other people gossip or slander. It's difficult to do all those Christian things. And the answer is not to say, well, you should just try harder. or to make you feel good, you know, you should just, you're a bad Christian, so you should just, you just work harder at it. No. The answer is to remember what Jesus has done for you. The answer is to remember that though you were short of sin, though you were so full of sin, because your sin was great, God forgave it. He did the work. He sent Jesus Christ to die in your place, to die the death you should have died. And when you recognize that, when you see the beauty of that, when you feel the beauty of that, that's how you will go out and live the way that He calls you to. And love to do that. And love to do it just because. Just because you love to show that love back to God. Let's pray. Lord, we thank you for this short verse that reminds us that we have nothing that we come to you. That it's by your grace and by your work, because our sin is great, our shortcoming is great, that you sent Jesus Christ to die for us and to also live for us so that we could live for you. May that be our strength and our hope as we honor you in our lives. I pray in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.